So I'm here with Caroline Konstnar, the first YouTuber I ever collabed with.
Is that true?
Yeah.
That is true for me as well. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. That must have been so disappointing.
It was so traumatic. It was so traumatic.
It legitimately, that's not a joke. Because I remember I was like, he seems like such a cool guy, such a nice guy. And I was such an asshole. I was not prepared to be around a nice person. I wasn't ready. I think that was good.
My back?
Can I? Yeah. That's fine. It was close enough.
Yeah, you made me question so much of if I was like a normal person, because you're like, you're so nice. I'm like, I'm being pretty normal right now, I think.
Yeah, no, there's something wrong with me. Period. No tampon.
Exactly 2 years ago, we filmed what might possibly be the shittiest video on youtube.com. Yeah, so we've been apart for a while, but now we're both college students, which is kind of cool, kind of quirky. So I thought if we could give anything substantial to the internet, it could be advice that is through the craziest YouTube tinted lens about what it's like to be in university.
Is this a 60 Minutes interview? So we are joined today.
Oh, like the super blurry background,
yeah.
Looking at the camera, like from the side profile, like
overexposed, like And tell me about that. How did that feel?
All right. Well, we should be sitting across from each other if that's the case.
That requires 2 different camera angles.
It's kind of a lot.
Which we have, but not strategically placed.
Make this like super hard for me in post, just like.
Oh, 100%. I'm just like throughout. Whenever I'm gonna go on a tangent, I'm just gonna be like.
You're gonna make me cut. That's so ass. So you go to right?
I do go to.
And what's that like?
I don't know like anything specific to say about college, because like prior to going to college, I like never went to school.
Right.
I was completely homeschooled, obviously.
Yeah, no. Oh my god. From your biased YouTuber perspective, is it worth it to go to college?
No. Honestly, I can't answer that. It really depends. For some people, I genuinely believe it will probably be the most detrimental thing that you can do as a young adult. Like, it could just totally stunt your developmental growth, and you just might be like, why the fuck did I do this to myself financially and emotionally? Other people, obviously, it's the best thing that you can do. It is transitioning from being an adolescent into emerging adulthood and then coming out with a skill or a trade or an intellectual interest that makes your life worth living. Or you can be me and you don't know why you're going there at all.
Fair enough. Yeah. I think it gives people like necessary routine that they need.
Oh yeah.
Because like some people wouldn't be able to get through it regardless. Like if they didn't go to college, then some people wouldn't be able to function as adults because a 9-to-5 job would be so foreign to them. Are you looking at me?
No.
Is being a teenager and internet famous worth the hype?
I don't think I can answer that question for like the majority of people, because I'd say the most teenagers that are internet famous are now internet famous on TikTok, which I don't really know anything about. I don't understand how that platform works. I think probably then like the fame that surrounds it is also different. I will say that it definitely fucked up my view of men. And no one wants to hear about this, but like when I first started doing YouTube videos, like all of my comments were like, I'm gonna fuck cool. I would get some of the worst, like sexist, most anti-Semitic, violent comments. You're not supposed to be reading those things at your age. And also you're not supposed to have the mindset of, that makes sense, because that's just how people behave in the world, and it's not a problem. You just should accept that people are horrible. And when you met me, and I was obviously I was a lot more cynical than you are. I think it's because we had very different comments. I'm not saying that you didn't get bad comments.
No, totally. I didn't.
And you definitely did not get like some of the good comments where they're just like, I want to marry you. The abundance of those and like the level of how creepy and personal they got that was also strange. So it was like, as a female internet personality, it's a lot different than, you know, the other majority of internet famous people that are men.
Yeah, I'd say unless you want to make a shitload of money from OnlyFans, being a famous girl is much worse than being a famous guy. Because guys are creepier on the internet for sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's easier to maintain popularity. Like, I fell off, but people still watch me, and I can only assume that's because I'm a woman. Seriously, that's the only reason why. Hi, everyone. Still sticking around. When you were on Tinder, did you get recognized a lot?
Yeah, oh, actually, that's probably the main reason I
All
don't
the
use
time.
Tinder. Yeah, it's horrible.
It is so bizarre. It is very bizarre. Because you'll have people that are like, why do I know you? And then you have people that are like, I'm not going to let anyone know that you're on this. Okay, this secret safe is with me. Thank you, Jeremy.
My favorite part about Tinder was like, oh, people don't know I am famous. Like, I can randomly message people and it's not weird. Because, like, there's definitely a power dynamic if I, like, randomly DM a person on Instagram. But Tinder, not so much. But I was fucking wrong because it's, like, you know, geography-based, and most people in my area know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's why being in the city, it's fantastic. Because you got DILFs, and you've got degenerates, and then you have another degrees.
Degrees. DILFs, degenerates, and degrees. There are
And
3
degrees.
types of males.
I like, you know, for me, Tinder consumption is sort of just like, you fuck around, you shits around, because it's funny. People are just...
The messaging.
Yeah, it can be a hoot and a holler.
Oh, the thing you posted on your, was it your story or
Oh
whatever?
my god, I had someone send me like a book, like talking about their feelings. I sent them one thing. They were like, are you Caroline? I'm like, yes, that's me. And then they were like, okay, hold on.
I'd really appreciate if you read the following. To be forward, yes, I'm familiar with your content. That being said,
I'm
you're
mostly
not
sure that
listening
you know
to
the
it.
double takes out.
There's a bit of a random example more pieces to it than actually spelled with relationship or sexual yourself, but it's not upsetting somebody they are helping show a better version of themselves than pizza equals which is still the reality is very
And I'm hoping that you can cut that in a way that's...
Yeah, and then I'll show the thing on screen, like, I'll voice over. Do you want me to voice over it? Like,
Yeah.
I'll voice over the whole thing.
Ooh! Yo, he might see that. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
You
You're
sent
okay with it.
Yeah, you sent it to me, so there is that. You didn't sign any contract.
Yeah, there's no NDA.
No
Like,
NDA.
There's no NDA, you're fine.
But what's weird is that, like, I'll go out with someone, and then, like, 2 days later, they'd be like, by the way, I just want to let you know that, like, I knew who you were from YouTube. And you didn't say anything.
No, that's the worst.
That's happened
the
twice.
worst.
That's happened twice. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, you've been around, like, philosophy students that will, like, go off into tangents when you're just sort of like, dude, I'm not saying I was gonna do heroin, I'm just saying it would be fun to do heroin. And they're like, the futility of man. And then they start talking about metaphysics, and it's just sort of like, we're at a party right now.
Yeah.
Could you not right now?
It's Henry's like that. Henry will...
Really?
Yeah, I'll be like,
Yo,
"Ah."
I miss Henry.
He's so philosophical, he'll always bring up some whack shit. Like, it's like, what makes you happy? This is like...
Yeah, no, I'm totally okay with those conversations. It's just like...
At a party, like everyone's, you know, jumping on the table, and he's like, so, are you happy? I'm like, I'm fucking...
Yeah, like, you can adjust that conversation to the setting to make it more fun, but if you're pulling out Immanuel Kant in the middle of, like, beer pong, it's like, you need to go home, okay?
What makes you happiest right now?
Stability. I know that's such a cop-out answer, but it's like, without getting into too much specifics, you asked this question, it's a loaded question, fuck you. I don't get to feel I don't get to feel happiness the way that I used to. I also don't feel depression the way that I used to, which is fun. So right now I have, like, attachment anxiety towards being stable, like in between being too happy and too depressed. And so right now, when I'm stable, when I feel like I'm, you know, cognizant, my cognition is functioning the way I want it to, I have energy, I'm motivated, that's when I'm just like, fuck yeah, I'm back, baby. And then it immediately falls apart a month later.
Right.
But in those moments where it's good, it's real good, and that's what makes me happy.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. Like, actually having the chance to be a person. The person that I know I'm supposed to be, that makes me happy as hell.
Right.
Yeah.
That adds up.
Dude, people should stop talking about mental health on the internet. It's
Bro, it's
so
so cringe.
It's so cringe.
It's
bro.
not real, bro. Like,
It's not real.
Yo, if you're sad, just be happy.
Yeah, just take some fucking Zyprexa, gain 200 pounds, and then never feel anything again. You're fine, okay?
Just be happy. What's your hottest take that isn't gonna get you canceled online?
Oh, no, I can't say it, it's too hot. No, I legitimately can't say it, it's too hot.
Okay.
But I don't think it would get me canceled. It would just make people really, really upset.
Okay.
And not offended, just upset.
Well, can you tell me it?
You know what, it's fine. You asked me, and it's your fault that I answered.
Right, so my hot take is that Pokemon cards aren't cool anymore.
Hey.
Hey.
Have you always been very optimistic?
It's gonna sound weird. I feel like I'm very good at just becoming who I think the best version of me is. Like, I'll give you an example. When I was like a dumb shit little kid, I would like watch anime and like see the protagonist and be like, oh, I can just like be like that. I'll just like tell my brain that I'm gonna be like that. And then I would be like that.
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Like, I would just become...
Yeah.
Like, I would see good people in media, and I would be like, I'm just going to be exactly like that. And
yeah.
I didn't know who I was, so I feel like I just kind of fell into that super young. I feel like I've kind of kept a lot of that. Do you have any advice, life advice? Actually, I don't know if this is a good person to ask.
Clearly,
don't.
I'm not the person to ask. Well, okay, this is the thing. I'll say that for some people, like you, who are happy, and they're healthy, and they're figuring out, they're developmentally normal. Your genetics have not screwed you over in that regard. You're fine. Don't listen to anything I have to say. If you're someone that is not in that case, or you were genetically fucked up, whatever. If you're someone that's a little bit fucked up, and that's the majority of people, listen to my advice, which is that when you experience something like depression, that's the best time for you to completely change how you look at your life, and then change how you function and live it completely.
Drink more water. That was my...
No, journaling every day is a really good idea. More people should journal all the time. Dude, if more people journal, we would get like complete sentences out of...
Every person, surprisingly. Look, this is what I do. I just like write it down. Hold up. I like take a picture and then I write down like what I did and kind of how I felt.
This
and, like,
is big brain.
I kept track of like what I do, and like days where I'm sad, it's like, okay, I did XYZ, so I can like get rid of those habits.
You talk about what you did?
Yeah.
Oh my god, my fucking journal is like absolutely crazy. It's just like, I no longer believe I see the color yellow the way I used to.
The voices in the wall, they're getting louder.
Don't take advice from me.
Drink more water. Anthony and...
Caroline.
Signing out. Toodaloo. Is that good? Is that a good ending?
It's up to you. You're gonna edit this in a way that's funny.
I will edit this in a way that's funny.
I'm not gonna write you a love song, 'cause you asked for it.